back to our channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my experience with Invisalign because I got braces. I am actually wearing them right now, so I've got my second set in now. This is my first set, they're already done and dusted with, so I'm on my just started week 4 actually. So I'm going to be sharing with you the whole journey I've been through, from the consultation to deciding on the treatment, how long it's going to be, how it's been for the first few weeks that I've had them in, so that's going to be eating, drinking, cleaning, all that kind of stuff, also the pain, IPR, everything you need to know about starting out with Invisalign. So if you like this video, then do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to be sharing my journey throughout the course of my treatment, which is going to be at least the next year and a half. And I'm going to be doing regular videos on this channel. So please do stick around. And if you've got any questions, then do ask me in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. If I don't know the answers, then I will ask my dentist. All right, let's get started. So first up, why I decided to get Invisalign. Well, basically, I've been unhappy with my teeth and my smile for a very, very long time, for years in fact. And it's just been something that's been really, really bothering me over a period of years, and it's just got worse and worse to the point where it's actually kind of inhibiting me in some ways. So in terms of things like filming videos for YouTube, I've been really reluctant to do it because I've been unhappy with my teeth and how they look on camera as well. In terms of, in my day job as well, I, have to do presentations, I manage a team, and I'm always aware of my teeth. And I don't think I realised how bad it was until I actually started to do something about it. I knew it was a problem, but now looking back in hindsight, now that I'm actually having my teeth fixed, I can see that it was a lot more of a problem and it has really been affecting my confidence for quite a long time. So I decided that I would go for a consultation with Invisalign and see what they could do to help me, fix the problems that I have with my teeth. The reason I chose Invisalign over kind of the traditional braces is because they are clear plastic aligners that you have, and so they're less visible than having metal braces, which are not something that I really wanted to have at this stage in my life. So yeah, this is why I decided to try and see if I'd be a candidate for Invisalign. So what happens at the first consultation? The first thing that happened was I sat down with the dentist, I discussed what the issues were, we took some photographs of my mouth, and then we did some moulds of all of my teeth as well, and we discussed what could be fixed and what the issues were. So the first issue that I have is severe overcrowding, particularly on my bottom row of teeth. So it's pushed the teeth completely out of alignment. So these ones are completely not where they're supposed to be. And also this other tooth at the back has become this horrible snaggle tooth that I absolutely hate. And that's the one that I hate when I'm talking as well. So when I'm smiling, I can hide it, as long as I smile like this. But when I'm talking, it's definitely a lot more visible. The second problem that I have is a crossbite. So again, because of the overcrowding on the bottom row teeth are overlapping the top ones. They're also causing these teeth to rub against each other, so they were actually wearing each other down on an angle as well, which was another problem that I wanted to correct before it got too bad. And the third problem that I have is that, again, because of the overcrowding, the actual arches of my upper and lower jaw are also out of alignment. So instead of being in a nice arch shape, they're actually almost rectangular. So it's actually narrowed my smile. So Invisalign is going to help with that because it will make that back into a really nice arch and it will give me a wider smile. So yeah, there's so many things that it's going to be correcting, which is obviously why my treatment's going to be taking that much longer than some people, because I've seen other people that have 10, 15 trays, but I'm going to have 40 sets of aligners, so the 80 weeks of treatment. So after I'd had the consultation, all the moulds were sent off to Invisalign in America, and then they make up something called a Clincheck video for you. And that video will show you exactly the progression of your treatment at every single stage. So you'll be able to see that how many trays you're going to need and what happens at each set of trays. So you usually change your trays every 2 weeks. So it will show you tray 1, tray 2, and so on and so on. It will also show you if you need to have any attachments, the dreaded attachments. So I saw on my Clincheck video that I was going to need to have, I think I've got 16 attachments. And these are things which are bonded to your teeth. They stay on for the duration of your treatment, and they are tooth coloured, but they obviously make your Invisalign less invisible. So I have them mainly down these side teeth. I don't have any on the front, and they basically are there to try and help your teeth to move, particularly if you have a lot of overcrowding or you need some teeth to kind of twist around, which I do with these ones. And so yeah, I have to say, you know, I was very disappointed when I found out how many attachments I was going to have. But at the end of the day, you know, it's either that option or to have, you know, metal braces, or just to leave my teeth as they were, and that wasn't an option. I was happy with the Clincheck video and the way my teeth were going to move, and so the only thing that I had a slight issue with, apart from the attachments, was that the gap that I used to have in my teeth, which were closed up by veneers that I had when I was a teenager, would perhaps become more visible again. Very, very slightly, but I'm told that if that is the case, then this can be fixed in something called Refinement. So Refinements is something that you can have at the end of your treatment if your teeth aren't exactly how you want them to be, or things haven't moved as they should have done, or you know there's any small tweaks that you need to make. You can go through a period of what's called refinement, and that will depend, the length of time that you spend doing refinements depends on the refinements that you need. But if I'm not happy at the end of my treatment and I want to try and close that gap, then I can perhaps go into refinements to do that, and that's all included in the price of my Invisalign treatment. I gave the okay to the Clincheck video, and so my Invisalign then make up your trays, which will be the aligner trays that you will have for the duration of your treatment. And so you will get, they will all be sent to your dentist, and then you will get them in kind of batches as you go along, and so you'll need to go back to your dentist every now and again to check on your progress and to get your next set of batches. So the good thing about Invisalign is that I think it's a lot less appointments that you need to go through, because you actually do a lot of it at home, so you just change your trays every 2 weeks, and yeah, just go to your kind of periodic appointments. So the trays were then sent to my dentist, so I think it takes about 6 weeks to get your trays made up and sent back to your dentist, and then you rush in for your appointment. So at your first appointment, you will be given your Invisalign patient starter pack, and in that starter pack you will get 2 cases for your Invisalign. So these are to put them in when you're not wearing them, so when you're eating and drinking. And so what they do recommend is that you keep your old set as well. Don't throw them away, and just keep them in here. So just in case, for example, something happened, you lost them or whatever else, the set that you were on, you would go back to the set before whilst Invisalign made up a new set for you, so you wouldn't kind of, regress your progress then. So you'll also see in your case that your optimal wear is 22 hours a day. Yes, so it's something that you get used to, but that means if you think about it, there's 24 hours in a day. That leaves you with 2 hours to eat and drink everything, because you can't eat and drink when you're wearing your Invisalign. So the advantage over normal fixed braces is that you can eat and drink whatever you want. The disadvantage is that you have to take them out to eat and drink, and every time you do, you need to brush your teeth and also clean your retainer trays. And that's just so that, well, there's several reasons really, but one, to stop your trays from becoming discoloured, because obviously there's no point having clear aligners if they're going to be yellowed or whatever else from what you've been eating or drinking. 2, to stop you from having any cavities as well, because again, if you think about it, if you're eating and drinking and that food and drink, sugars and everything else are getting trapped inside your aligners, and they're not being cleaned off, then that's going to cause you to have cavities. So for me, I had my attachments put on day 1. It wasn't at all painful. I had no pain whatsoever. It was over really, really quickly. The next thing that I had to have was IPR, which is kind of, it's like a thinning down of your teeth. So it's really, really minimal, and they use a really, really thin drill to try and, or file, to file down your teeth. And that's basically to allow your teeth to move. So if you're like me and you have a lot of overcrowding, then it's likely that you might need some IPR just to allow that movement so that your teeth have some space to be able to move as they should. So I had IPR on the first day. It wasn't painful, but it was really, really uncomfortable. It was a horrible feeling to have, you know, drilling in my head. I could hear it. I could feel the sensation of it in my teeth and in my head. But yeah, it was over fairly quickly. I was then, you know, rinsed out my mouth and everything else, and then I was given my first set of trays, this one, and put them on. They went on absolutely fine, and off I toddled home. The first day was absolutely fine, and I was thinking, well, I've read all these things, I've seen all these videos where people say that, you know, they experience so much pain on the first day and all this kind of stuff, and I really didn't have any of that on day one. Day two, however, was a different story altogether. So I woke up in the morning, went to take my Invisalign off or give my mouth a quick clean, and I really struggled to get the trays off over my attachments. My teeth felt really, really sore and tender. They were fine when they were actually in the Invisalign, but when I took them off, they just felt kind of even almost loose. They weren't, but that's what they felt like. And trying to get those trays off over each kind of all these attachments that I had was really, really, really uncomfortably sore and painful. And it lasted, you know, the sensation of pain went away after a minute or so, but it was just that day I really had to really psych myself up every time I needed to take off my trays to eat. So yeah, when I took off my trays to eat, it was really, really uncomfortable. I did find that the longer that I left them off, the more painful it was to put them back on again. So a quick tip, if you're just starting out, try and limit the amount of time that you actually leave your trays off. I will say that by day three, I didn't have that problem anymore. My teeth didn't feel sore anymore. I found that I could get my trays off a lot more easily, and I kind of got into my stride of, you know, cleaning my teeth and eating and drinking and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so day two was definitely the worst, and day three onwards has been absolutely fine. So my first week, yeah, it was just all that kind of process of getting used to it. The having to take your trays off to eat and drink was a pain, and that did take, you know, some getting used to. And I have to say, the first few days I did think I've made the worst, most expensive mistake ever. Why have I done this? There's absolutely no way that I can do this for another 80 weeks. However, by, you know, the end of the first week, I kind of got into it, and now I'm completely used to the whole process and everything that you need to do. Yeah, so the first week went absolutely fine, you know, in terms of I managed to get along with everything. The pain subsided after the first few days, and then I went along to my first checkup appointment 1 week later, and everything was great. My dentist was really happy with my progress, and then I also had to have a little bit more IPR. Again, it was uncomfortable, but not, you know, not unbearable. Then I was given the next 7 sets of trays, so 14 weeks worth of trays, so I don't need to go back now until the new year, and by that point I should be able to see some quite big changes, hopefully, on my bottom teeth, so I'm really, really excited about that. And so yeah, that's one of the advantages, that you don't need to keep going back to your dentist unless, of course, you have any issues. The other thing I forgot to mention is that on the first set of trays as well, they were quite sharp around the edges here, and so what you can do is just take a normal nail file and just kind of file them down, and it makes a massive difference. I did find my tongue was really, really sore on the first day, and when I went to eat it felt quite sore as well, but once I'd filed them down, I also found that also helped me with speaking, and it made me helped me to have less of a lisp as well. So I definitely recommend that if you are feeling that they are a bit sharp or whatever else, then just get the nail file and get them filed. So for me, it's completely changed the way that I eat. I used to be one of those people that grazed, you know, just having like little meals and little and often all the time. And now I've been on the Invisalign diet, as it's called. And I now have 3 meals a day. So I kind of have half an hour for breakfast, half an hour for lunch, and then an hour for my evening meal, maybe a little bit longer, and also I might have a glass of wine or 2 in the evening as well. But I just find that it's easier to kind of do it like that, and I'd rather have longer in the evenings just to relax without them in. You know, sticking to the optimal time, I don't think I've actually hit 22 hours a day consistently, but I do aim for 20 as a minimum. So obviously the longer that you keep them in, the more chance that your teeth have to move into the position they need to, and it's less likely that you'll extend your treatment. I've got used to it now, I've got completely used to it, and I absolutely do no snacking at all. So I just have completely cut out snacking, which is a great thing, and you find that quite a lot of people lose weight on what's called the Invisalign diet. The other thing is that you can only drink water when you're wearing them, and cold water, because if you drink hot water then it's likely to warp and bend your trays, and so they're not going to do what they're supposed to. Again, there's a pro and a con to that, because the pro is that it's going to make you drink a lot more water, and for me, I'm somebody that doesn't drink enough water, and so it's completely forced me to do that, which is, you know, really good for your skin and your general health. But yeah, you know, I miss drinking like tea and things like that, but it, you know, it's just something that you do definitely get used to. So that's kind of eating and drinking covered, I think. And so cleaning your teeth. So yes, as I said, you need to clean your retainers, you need to clean your aligners and your teeth after every single meal. So for me, I probably do that probably 4 times a day, because I usually brush my teeth as soon as I wake up, and then I might prepare my breakfast. What I also do is that I do not take my aligners out until the very minute that all my food is on the table ready to go, because I don't want to waste any precious eating time, because again, as I mentioned I think earlier, the longer you leave them out, especially in the first couple of days, the more uncomfortable it is to get them back in again. But also you just don't want to get into the, you know, I'm trying not to get into those habits of leaving them out for too long. So I will literally wait until the last minute and then I will start my food. So yeah, again, it's just something that I've completely got used to. I just use a normal, you know, normal toothpaste. I don't use a whitening toothpaste on my retainers because they can be quite abrasive, and they might actually damage the retainers, and then that will also cause them to attract more stains. And I floss as well. It's not that easy because of my overcrowding, but you know, I'm assured that as time goes on it will get easier, and obviously the teeth that I've had the IPR on, it's much easier to floss on those ones. So using just a normal toothbrush, I sometimes brush my trays when they're in my mouth, take them out, and then I brush my teeth thoroughly, give them a floss, and then I will brush the retainers but with a non-whitening toothpaste. And then I will then use a Listerine alcohol-free mouthwash in the evenings, because you don't want anything that dries your mouth, because your mouth does get quite dry. And that's been basically it really, and I've been able to keep my retainers really, really clean just from doing that. I am going to experiment with a couple of things I've seen, so I'll let you know how I get on with those things. I didn't really want to mention it in this video because I haven't really tried them yet, but I've seen some things on other videos that maybe I'll just pop some links below, and I will also pop some links below to other people's journeys that I've been watching that I've really, really enjoyed seeing the final results of, and also that have helped kind of like motivate me, especially in those first few days. Teeth whitening. So my treatment also includes teeth whitening. I haven't really done any yet because I actually, you know, my teeth are actually very white, and so that's one thing that I do like about them. So I've not actually done any of the whitening, but I have been given some whitening packs from my dentist, and you can just do those at home. So you just squirt the stuff into the tray, and you put the tray on and you leave them for an hour. So that means that I can be doing whitening throughout my treatment, but as I said, I haven't used it yet because I haven't felt that I really needed to, and I haven't experienced any kind of discoloration yet, but it is early days. So changing over to set 2, I was absolutely dreading changing onto the second set of aligner trays after the first couple of days with the first one, but actually I found first of all that they fit a lot better than the first one. I haven't actually had to file them down. And that the pain was nowhere near as bad as the first tray. So I've got along really, really well with the second set of trays. I've had no real issues at all, apart from just like making sure that they're actually on properly. And I think I'm going to get something, I think they're called chewies, where you kind of bite down on them and they help you to kind of get your trays, make sure that they're properly snugly fitted onto your teeth. So I think I'm going to order those as well. But yeah, tray 2 I've had no issues with whatsoever, and I'm just really looking forward to starting tray 3 next Friday. So I think that's everything. Hopefully I've answered as many things as I can. I've talked about the consultation, IPR, attachment, cleaning, eating, and whitening. Yeah, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover in this first video, but if you have any questions and I've missed anything, I'm sure I have, then ask me in the comments below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And also make sure that you are following on the blog as well, which is kittyandb.com, because I'll be sharing some posts over there and pictures as well of my progress. And I'm also going to show you taking the trays in and out, and also my teeth close up, so we can see where we are now. So I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover today. I hope you found it useful. If you like the video, then give it a thumbs up. If you know anybody that might be wanting to have treatment with Invisalign, then do share this video with them. And yeah, any questions, ask me in the comment section below. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Take care, bye.